Okay, that you're throwing off your TV from the balcony to show anger against China. It's fine to do so. Everybody out here in India is angry. Too angry after the ongoing border clashes in between India and China in Ladakh. But throwing out your TV, breaking toys won't just work. China is playing a next level game here. A game that we cannot even think of. You all know what is going on in Ladakh. The ongoing clashes have already killed our 20 army jawans, that too completely unarmed. Anger is warming up our blood, and it's high time that we start boycotting Chinese products. Not by throwing out our TV or mobile phones, but on a much bigger scale. You know, China is ruining up our MetroRail industry, and watching everything, we can hardly do anything. China has managed to acquire almost entire metro market in India. This is hugely affecting our own metro manufacturers that are almost struggling to make a place. In this video, we will see how China is creating a monopoly in India's metro market and why it is an immediate requirement to boycott Chinese metros. Now, before starting, here is a disclaimer. The video will be sensational and not like what you usually watch on our channel. The video is completely against Chinese impact that is being done to our country, but Chinese people has nothing to do with it. It exposes the dirty tricks of the Communist Party of China that has basically captured the country of China on a dictatorial mode and is now looking forward to destroy other economies of the world. Since MetroRail blog is a pro-rapid transit channel which has videos only on rapid transits, we will keep other problems aside. You can search them on Google. India's metro market is one of the biggest in the world. Metro rails are operating in 13 cities already, and more are yet to come. The operational metro networks are also expanding rapidly, and expansions, of course, require more number of trains. These metro trains are usually very expensive. A single coach of metro can cost anything between 5 crore to 12 crore these days, depending upon the features they have. There are various companies that manufacture metro trains. In India, these companies are selected through a process called tendering. The tendering process is actually a competition where various companies participate and give a quotation. The company that asks for the lowest amount of money is finally chosen to make trains for the respective metro rail. This tendering process is always global in nature. This means not only Indian companies but companies that belong to other countries can also participate. Right now, 15 Indian cities are having metro rails. Out of them, 8 cities: Mumbai, Gurgaon, Noida, Nagpur, Kolkata, Navi Mumbai, Pune, and very recently Bengaluru have chosen to buy made in China metro trains. This is hugely affecting the companies that manufacture metro trains in India. As said earlier, modern day metro trains cost somewhere in between 5 crore to 12 crore per coach. 3 years ago, Integral Coach Factory in Chennai started manufacturing the so-called modern metro trains for Kolkata Metro at a cost of 5 crores per coach. These trains are one of the worst in the country. They are faulty, have design issues, and even manufacturing defects. Every train has new problems in them which takes months of repairing works. They also have poor exterior finish with scratch-prone exterior paints being used on the body. When ICF started manufacturing these trains, they said that they have done a miracle by manufacturing metro trains that are same as the other Indian metros but costs half of the amount. It's true, the modern Indian good quality metro trains cost 10 crores and this costed 5 crores, but that too after a huge compromise in production quality. Now you would think that ये तो अच्छी बात है. भारत में we can manufacture metros in half of the cost of the other companies, but no. This is where comes the twist. China is playing a very big game here that we cannot even think of. According to a report published by Times of India on 5th December 2016, China's CRRC Nanjing Puzen has delivered metro trains to Noida Metro at a cost of just 4 crores per coach. These coaches are actually of the same quality that cost 10 crores. Yes, no compromise in the production quality, no defects, and yet it is cheaper than even Mumbai AC local trains. And of course, Kolkata Metro. As per reports in Bengaluru, the same company called CRRC Nanjing Puzen has won a contract to supply 216 coaches at a cost of just 854.95 crores in Indian rupees. This means that each coach comes at an average cost of just 3.95 crores, which is even cheaper than Noida. Now I'm using the term average because the contract has two types of coaches. As per the contract, out of 216 coaches, 126 coaches will be of DTG signaling system and 90 will be of CBTC signaling system. The DTG coaches are of course cheaper as they use a backdated signaling system. On the other hand, the CBTC coaches will be fully driverless with UTO technology that are very expensive. So the CBTC coaches will be costing a little more than 3.95 crore, but the DTG coaches will be actually costing less than 3.95 crores. Not only trains, there are various fields of metro industry in which the Chinese companies are playing. Construction of tunnels, stations and viaducts, manufacturing of metro coaches, propulsion systems, platform screen doors, escalators and even minor spare parts. These Chinese companies are everywhere. Now, selling a metro coach in just 4 crore, which is actually costing 10, is really a miracle. Really, no? In economics, there's a term called dumping. When a country exports its product at a price much lower than the local manufacturers, it is called dumping. In this case, the price of Chinese metro is less than half of the price of locally manufactured Indian metros, which is around 10 crores. अब ये तो फाइनल है कि चाइना का इसमें प्रॉफिट नहीं है, बल्कि लॉस हो रहा है। लेकिन चाइना ऐसा करेगा क्यों? इसमें चाइना का क्या फायदा है? Basically, Chinese government promotes dumping to a great extent. The Chinese government provides subsidies to the companies that export Chinese products globally. By accepting these subsidies, these Chinese companies stop having the fear of loss making. Now, the price of these metro coaches are intentionally kept low so that Indian companies cannot win the contract. This creates a monopoly of Chinese companies in Indian metro industry. You see, out of 15 cities, 8 cities are using metro coaches imported from China. This means China has already created a monopoly in India. This is a dangerous trend for local metro manufacturers in India. While China keeps on winning contracts, our local manufacturers will starve to death. Losing contracts one after the other will gradually collapse them in the next few years. This is the same thing that has already happened to India's toy manufacturers. Dumping is not an option for Indian manufacturers because our government doesn't provide subsidies to the companies. It might seem that China is making losses, but this will help them to grow on a bigger scale in future. By applying dumping, they will manage to collapse local metro manufacturers in India. So in future, China will not be having any competitors in Indian metro industry, which gives them a clear way to win the contracts. Not only in MetroRail, from the toys that children play with to the pins that we have used, from the gulal of Holi to the firecracker of Diwali, from the smartphones that we use to the software that we run, everything is Chinese these days. The dirty tricks played by the Chinese government using dumping has already created a monopoly in India in various fields. Nowadays, you hardly find made in India toys or made in India smartphones. And trust me, metro rail industry is already going in the hand of the Chinese.
अगर हम करें तो करें क्या, बोले तो बोले क्या?
Boycott China? Or maybe...
Hello friends, welcome to Technical MRB YouTube channel. Today I will show you how to uninstall TikTok from your smartphone.
Yeah, boy.
Just kidding. Neither uninstalling Chinese apps nor boycotting China campaign will work. In fact, boycotting Chinese products will never make a difference on the Chinese economy. As per reports, only 3% of the total Chinese exports come to India. So banning Chinese products or even boycotting them won't make a difference. In return, China can ban its exports of essential products like medicines to India. This can cause a huge effect on our economy as well as cause adverse effect on the health of our citizens. अब इसका solution क्या है? The only solution is to become self-dependent, Atmanirbhar. Now how can we become self-dependent in metro industry? See, the money that we are investing on buying metro trains from these private companies must come back to ourselves. In short, the metro train manufacturers should either be completely Indian or should provide employment to India. Otherwise, there is no profit. Right now, there are two Indian companies that manufacture metro trains: Bharat Earth Movers Limited or BEML and Titagarh Wagons. Apart from them, two other companies, Alstom and Bombardier Transportation, are having metro manufacturing units in India. We have intentionally excluded ICF Chennai because ICF doesn't make metros other than Kolkata, and that too are not metros. These days, it is often mandatory to manufacture most of the metro coaches in India itself to promote Make in India. When tenders of Nagpur metro coaches were floated, 12 firms including BEML, Titagarh Wagons, Alstom and Bombardier participated. But the contract was awarded to Chinese CRRC Dalian at a cost of 718 crores, which is 200 crores less than the provision given in the project report. Observing the Make in India rule, CRRC promised to set up a metro manufacturing factory in Maharashtra and invest 1500 crores. The factory would have generated employment to 5,000 people. After winning the contract, CRRC asked the then Chief Minister of Maharashtra to assure that China would get a contract of the future Mumbai and Pune metro trains. When the then Chief Minister told that it cannot be assured as tendering process will be fair and global, they cancelled their plan of making the factory. Now CRRC has again promised the Bangalore Metro to set up a coach manufacturing plant in India. Let's see what happens. The solution is not to boycott Chinese metro manufacturers, but to give more scope to Indian manufacturers. We think that only those companies that have manufacturing units in India should be allowed to take part in tenders. This will hugely boost the Make in India initiative as well as encourage more global manufacturers to set up factories in India. This way, even if Chinese CRRC wins a fair contract to manufacture metro trains, it will be mandatory for them to manufacture them in India. This will boost employment as well as will provide a cheap cost. Another solution is to follow China itself. All Chinese metro manufacturers that bid in India are under the Chinese Railway Rolling Stock Company or CRRC. The CRRC is owned by Chinese government, which has various factories in different cities of China. For example, CRRC Dalian is located in Dalian city. CRRC Zhizhou is located in Zhizhou. CRRC Nanjing Puzen is located in Nanjing. Each of them are independently allowed to bid in India. Similarly, in India, we have various rolling stock manufacturers that are under the Indian Railways. Some of them are Integral Coach Factory in Chennai, Rail Coach Factory in Kapurthala, Modern Coach Factory in Raebareli, and more are yet to come. These factories are entirely owned by the government of India. See, our government cannot provide subsidies to the private companies, but instead, the price of metros can be kept very low in another way. The railway-owned factories can be allowed to manufacture metro trains that are at par with Chinese rates. Being government-owned factories, these factories will never think of making profits. So, metro trains can actually be manufactured by the government of India itself at no profit or no loss. This model is already being used by the Indian Railways. The Indian Railways doesn't buy coaches from private firms like other countries. Instead, these government-owned factories produce coaches based on the requirement of Indian Railways. This is why we were successfully able to manufacture Train 18 at a cost of just 97 crores, where similar trains from private companies cost around 200 to 250 crores. Well, this is also happening in metro industry. Gradually, the Ministry of Railways is encouraging these factories to indulge themselves in manufacturing metros. The Integral Coach Factory or ICF Chennai is manufacturing trains for Kolkata Metro since 1982. To be honest, even the modern ICF Metro trains that cost around 40 crores are nowhere close to the Alstom or BEML level when it comes to quality. See, by saying government-owned factories should make metros, we don't encourage low-quality products like that of ICF Metro. We encourage them not to make any loss in production quality and ask for the price that actually accounts for. ICF metros are often low quality because ICF doesn't know how to make metros. On the other hand, the Modern Coach Factory of Raebareli is going to be a game changer. Recently, it has brought the technology to make metro rails from leading South Korean company called Downsys. After Downsys sells them the technology, MCF can make aluminium metro coaches and supply them to various Indian metros. They have already won a contract to supply aluminium metro trains to Kolkata Metro and Nagpur Metro. If things go well, they can supply more to other metros as well. Since MCF is a government-owned factory, they won't think of making profits and the price of the coaches will come down to a great extent. Like MCF, ICF and other rail coach factories should also buy the technology from other companies. Once they have it, the Ministry of Railways should allow them to participate in bidding and allow them to export the trains abroad. ICF is already exporting world-class trains to Sri Lanka, Nepal, Bangladesh, etc. And trust me, our metros can also go abroad. Well, cancelling the present tenders that has already been awarded to China might work. Few days ago, a tender of dedicated freight corridor was cancelled after very little progress was made. Mumbai MetroRail terminated the contract to supply 10 new trains, but in the same time, Chinese construction company STEC was awarded 1126 crore contract of Delhi Meerut RRTS. The contract on which the work is in advanced stage should not be terminated, because India will be the one making losses after all. For example, the contract of CRRC Dalian to supply 14 trains to Kolkata Metro cannot be terminated now. Because Dalian has completed manufacturing of all 14 trains, they have already delivered one train to India and the rest 13 have been packed and lying idle in China. Once the first one gets the clearance, the rest 13 will be delivered. But in the same time, Bangalore Metro can easily terminate the contract of CRRC because work on this contract has just begun. Here, we can learn something from Delhi Metro. For 3 times, CRRC was the only company that participated in tender to supply 4 trains to Delhi Metro's Airport Express. And guess what? Delhi Metro rejected CRRC every time, showing no valid reason. This is what other metros can also do. Metros are definitely not answerable to CRRC for terminating the contract. The matter is over. We have discussed the issue and given the solution. Now it's your turn to spread this video by sharing it. We need a massive movement now. Not a movement of boycotting Chinese products, but a movement to become self-dependent. Spread this video as much as you can and tweet comments on Twitter. Let's make a change. Let's unite and take our country ahead. By the way, for more videos on Indian metros, MetroRail blog ko subscribe karna. And don't forget to press the bell icon. Have a nice day.